Welcome to the show, everyone. We're already networking in here today. It's really kind of cool. I love that about this show. It brings people together and love networking with everybody out there. I'm excited about bringing on my first guest who's been with me now years. You were a listener first. You come on for now years. You're also one of my sponsors, and I have with me Susan Tanko, and she is the president of WCI Business Sales. And I want to thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the show and being on as long as you have. You must tell everybody, we always have to start with this, is a little bit about yourselves and what you do.
Absolutely, Carol. Thank you for having me for so many years, and you're still here and cooking. And
thank you.
I love your new ads. Everybody go check out our ads. They're really
on
fun. Yeah. So WCI Business Sales has been around almost 60 years. We have 15 agents. We have meetings every 6 weeks. We had one yesterday. It was really fun. We sit around and discuss our deals, what might be coming up, what issues or challenges that we're having with the ones we have now. So everybody learns, we share lots of information, but having all of that experience in the room is really huge, and we really enjoy each other's company and work well together.
How long have you been around?
I have been doing this 27 years, going on 28, but WCI overall is nearing 60.
It's amazing. If you're thinking about selling a business, if you know somebody, right, who is thinking of doing something like this, please call a professional, and that's what they are. They've been around. They are the ones to call. They are you are the pillar of your category in business. Absolutely the pillar.
Thank you, Carol.
Now, we were talking before you came on, and we were talking about people who are selling their businesses, and you said, the first thing you said to me is, Carol, a lot of people think that this is like selling a house.
Yeah, so because we all our agents hold Arizona Department of Real Estate licenses to be able to handle leases and sell commercial real estate, and we are licensed also to sell residential real estate, but that's not our expertise. We sell commercial, we assist with leases, but I think that especially first-time sellers and even first-time buyers think that this is similar to buying a house, that everything happens really quickly. There's an MLS system out there where you can just click on a link and go right to the financials or the address of the business, but it's very different than selling real estate in the matter that it is so specific to each seller's needs, and we require non-disclosures. We vet our buyers, so we don't just shotgun listings and people's financials across the table. It has to be a fit for you, a fit for the seller, and we don't, how do I put this? It's so private. I mean, you are dealing with tax returns and personal information of these sellers. You don't want to disrupt the business. You don't want the employees to know that it's for sale until it's sold, because employees are employees. They all bond, they find out the place is for sale, and then, next thing you know, you're replacing a general manager that's been there for 10 years because he found out the place might sell. And that's not good. People panic. It's natural.
Well, we originally said that we were going to move this somewhere else, but we can talk about it now. The people's emotions.
Oh, yes. Yes, so managing emotions is so important when you take a listing. Managing the emotions of a buyer who gets so excited that says, I'll send you over an offer overnight, sight unseen, full price, I want this business. And we don't even know if they have a contractor's license. We don't have an NDA. We don't have all of those things in place. So, somebody said to me this morning in an exercise class, ASAP means, it doesn't mean as soon as possible. It means as slow as possible. And I thought, wow. So she was trying to engage our muscles, of course, and we were dying to get out of there. But in business brokerage, it's similar. You have to slow the deal down and make sure everything's right for everyone and everyone is protected, and that the buyer has the cash needed, or the cash injection for an SBA loan. Will this business finance through SBA, or is this going to be a seller carry? So you have to, it's like matchmaking 101. But you have to slow the deal down, and people, we have a rule at our office that we can submit an offer without you meeting the owners, but we require that you have a meeting with them, if it's conference, Zoom, Google Meetup, whatever it is, but we have to have an introduction before we, I wouldn't say allow, but we coach our sellers, don't sign anything until you speak with these people.
Absolutely. I tell you, to me, when you talk about this, I know you're so passionate about what you do. And when it comes, I was just thinking in my mind when you were talking about going slow, low and slow, right? When you're making something and you want it like a piece of meat or what have you, if you go too fast, it doesn't work, right?
It ends up falling out. The deal will fall out if you move too quickly.
I like that. I think that you need to know that these things do take time. You've talked to me about this
They do.
a lot. It's not an overnight deal. It really isn't.
It's not, and yes, we can put timeline on things and we can move it as quickly as you want, but you need to slow down certain portions and then push on the gas at other times.
Question: when a lot of times your sellers are going to want to get involved, what do you like? Participate in what's going on, right? And calling you and telling you this.
They need to be.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, well, they need to be.
Because I thought you were going to say completely the opposite.
Oh, no. No, it's not like selling your house. You don't give us a listing and then we take pictures and we advertise them and we walk people through whenever it's convenient. That's not how it works. So we do a lot of upfront vetting. We do meetings. We might meet with a dozen different people before one or two fit the criteria that's needed that we know that this person, we feel fairly confident that this person can get to a closing and it's a good fit for your business. So each seller has different needs. Each business has different needs. Some are hands-on, some aren't, some have partners. They're all different. So we have to, like I said, matchmaking, which is why our listings are 12 months.
On purpose.
On purpose, because it takes on average almost 7 months to find the right buyer, get the financing, get the people together, get the contract, which, we're driving the bus on all of that.
The more that you do, the better the deal will be, right? Because you are making sure that all of your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, and that this person is the right fit. That's a big thing, especially when somebody has a business that's already still running and you want them to be able to take over it.
Right.
Right? That's a whole nother, that's something to talk about too.
Right.
Right?
It does have to be the right fit. People need to sit across from each other and shake hands and know that if there's a problem in the future, the buyer can call the seller and say, hey, this just happened. What would you do? Those are the kinds of relationships we're looking for.
That is huge. That's huge.
It is. It would be for me when I go to sell someday.
Yeah, this is something that is your baby. It's something that you created, possibly. Yeah. You've been there for 30 years, right? Now you're selling. I think that's you do want to have somebody that you can connect with. That's huge. So we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit further about some of these things. Let me tell you something. They are the pillar of business sales in the valley, the whole entire state. The phone number to call is 602-795-2005. You can check them out on their website, which is WCIBroker.com. Okay, we're going to keep on talking because we're live on Facebook still.
Right.
Okay. When you get somebody who, a lot of times you might even know somebody right away when you come into a business. You're already thinking of people that might be right? And even though you might know that person that's probably perfect, you're still going to go get other people to make sure, right? Which is cool that you do that. Because the thing is that probably how many times that one that you thought about, that you knew was probably right, was the one that bought it. How many times does that happen?
Probably 10% of the time.
Because I think that
Because people buy businesses. They have a certain amount of time where they need to buy something. They have the money set aside, or they just lost a job, or I don't know if I need to speak into this at this
No.
time. But it's important that they get going too. They have a life and bills to pay, so they might find something else in the meantime that was a good fit for them too. So yeah, like I said, we have 60,000 buyers signed up.
Right.
Probably a third of those are PE groups, so the larger, which is private equity, where a bunch of people get together and throw
Yeah.
their money together. So we're dealing a lot with private equity now, and we're taking a lot larger listings than we used to because we know we can get them done. We do a lot of construction, we do medical, we do service,
But I have to ask you, because
repair.
we've been together for a while now.
Mhm.
And what I've always thought with you is that you kind of like the mom and pop businesses.
Yeah, you know why? Because those are really easy to get financed.
Okay.
If the books and records make sense, we can get financed up to $5 million for a buyer.
That's something to say when we come back.
Yeah.
Because,
That'll take us down a whole different path.
is that okay?
I kind of wanted to talk about expectations and
We'll go
sellers
that with that.
because we've had so many, we're getting full price offers on things and sellers are having panic attacks.
I don't understand
And
why.
Yeah, we don't either. We're scratching our head.
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense.
It's kind of strange, but this sounds like a Zig Ziglar pitch, but your first couple of offers are going to be your best offers. The longer that it's out there on the market, people think there's something wrong.
I was just gonna say.
Why
just gonna
hasn't
say-
this sold?
You ready?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, and that happens, and we have to explain, look, sometimes it takes 2 years to sell a business, but buyers don't get that. They think
No,
there's
they want the
something
money
wrong.
now.
Yeah, they just
what
think
it is.
something's wrong.
So welcome back, everyone. We are live on Facebook, so hello to everybody out there. I do want to say that one thing we do here during the break is we talk while we're live on Facebook. And go ahead and tell them, we just talked about how, when you put a business up for sale, if you keep it there for a very long time, what happens? Somebody's going to think what?
There's a preconceived notion that there's something wrong with the business. Why hasn't this sold? Well, last time I called you, you said that you had 2 offers on it. Well, yes, we did. One of them was full price, but the seller didn't really care for the buyer, so it's still out there. Well, that doesn't make any sense. He got full price. Why didn't he take the offer? So
Why?
we're having, people get really emotional and they get scared, and if you don't have a plan B as a seller, this is what I'm gonna do once I sell the business. I've already got it figured out. I'm gonna take the money, invest it in my, Airbnb, whatever it is that you're gonna do. Or I've always wanted to write a book. I'm just gonna take 2 years off. Whatever it is, you need to have a plan B, because otherwise when you get what you want, which if we price it right, you'll get that right away.
I have to ask, when somebody comes to you and they say, "Okay, I'm ready, I want to sell my business," do you coach them on those things?
Yes, we do. And I've seen spouses sit across, where the wife, or maybe it's the husband, but there will be a spouse sometimes that's involved in the business but very little, and they're in tears. They want their spouse to sell so badly. And he has been talking about it for many years. Thank God we met you. Thank God he's finally comfortable with you. And so I bring a full price offer, and we get 2 weeks from closing. And the seller says, well, I don't like these people. I'm not talking to anybody anymore. And just cuts you off.
It must be terrible.
That's the life of a commissioned salesperson, so I don't take it personally, but I'm just as upset as the wife that she can't go on vacation because her husband's still working, So that was my goal for them, but now I'm the bad guy because I didn't beat up the buyer, because the buyer hired an attorney and added some language in there that the seller's not comfortable with, okay? Well, let's hammer back. I love a good hammer.
I bet you do.
But when I'm not allowed to do my job and somebody cuts me off, either the buyer or the seller, if somebody goes silent on either side, you've got a problem. So the emotions of the deal, you must keep communication open. You must stop emailing, pick up the phone, look at each other, meet, get to the same table, because everything is solvable as long as everyone's willing.
You know, talking about picking up the phone, that must be very difficult right now because everybody's texting, right?
Yeah.
And you can't. You cannot do this that way.
Right.
I think, especially, I think it's okay to be. And I'm going to say this a little old-fashioned when it comes to something like this. This is real important. This is not something, because when you text, there's no emotion there. You don't know what you're making up your own emotion of what they're saying.
And texts come across as bold, sometimes arrogant, real short and to the point, you're bothering me kind of thing.
Right.
You need to have that communication with your clients and your customers, or you might as well just cancel the listing, which we've done.
Which I think what I like about you too is that this is called nurturing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to nurture the deal.
And I'm not the enemy. I'm here to make it happen. I don't get paid until it closes, and I will not push the buyer or the seller into something that I fear for either one of them. So I have that integrity part that comes in. Even though I represent the seller, I have integrity with the buyer. If I know, and I've used this example so many times, if I know a Circle K is going up across the street and there's another gas station going in, a mile down, is that something I should probably tell the buyer? Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the seller has said to me, well, I'm going to lose $1 million contract that's on that list, but don't you dare say anything. I'm out.
Yeah, that's called integrity.
It is, and it's hard to find with sellers and buyers. You need to be honest and upfront. Nobody wants to meet at the table under litigation in a couple of years, and that's very rare. What I'm talking about is really, really rare, so I didn't want to throw a negative tone on this. I think I just wanted to talk today about managing expectations, managing emotions, and I'm here to get the best deal for the seller and the buyer with the least risk. So
and
that's my job. I really love doing it. We do, I don't know, 5 or 6 closings sometimes a month, which is, and
pretty impressive.
Now, give credit to Vinny Sopra, who I work with, brings in a lot of deals, and he's a quick turner. So he has a different style than me, and for some reason his buyers don't quite require the financials that my buyers do.
That's okay. Let me just say this.
But we have
that's okay because people
15
resonate.
agents, and everybody has a different personality.
Exactly.
Everybody has their backings and their referrals, and so that's what's really cool about this. And then we share and we jump in together and we partner
and we make that deal go through. Getting you what you want is the most that you can get for them, and you're going to fight
with the least
them.
risk.
With the least risk, because this is on a contingency basis. You are going to work. You're going to work your butt off.
Speaking of the most, that's another thing I want to talk about if we have time.
Go ahead.
Getting the most for your business. So we work on commission. We're going to put the highest amount on your business, okay? Unless you tell us this is a fire sale, we've got a problem we need to sell. We work on commission. Do the math. We want the highest too. So I'm not going to price a business low to make a quick sale. I'll never do that unless the seller insists, unless there's a reason.
What, does it happen?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have sellers that have cancer and they don't even know if they can make the closing. We've had sellers wheeled into the emergency room signing documents on the same day.
That's sad.
We've had people had to step in with power of attorney. So you don't ever want to, and life is life, you don't know what's going to happen. But you don't want to be in that situation where I have to sell because this is happening. That makes you a victim and it brings out the snakes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You just don't wait until there's a problem.
Now, obviously, something could come up, we never
That's
know.
life.
Yeah, right. But you're there for them either way,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
And we know how to work around that and with power of attorney, and we can still get the deal done.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about too was how important it is to make sure that you are working with someone who's licensed. I say experience, license, but their experience right there with all that you have, there's nothing like it. But why is it so important to make sure that you work with somebody who is licensed?
And experienced. So in Arizona, you're required to be licensed to be a broker or an agent.
You better find out if they are, because
Yeah, not everyone knows that. And we see companies every day, they contact us and say, I have a buyer for that business. Well, are you licensed? And they're looking for a co-broker, a share or something. Or they're charging the buyer a fee to find him a business that I've already got.
Mm.
So yeah, we advertise on bizbysell.com. We advertise in several different places. I think you've already said WCI Broker without an S.com. That's where we are. My cell phone is 602-373-4637. You can call me direct anytime. And yeah, we're ready to go. But we need to talk first. We need to see if it's a good time for you and see if we can get the maximum price.
So I want to just say what we're looking for. They're ready, willing, ready, and able. Okay? That's what they're looking for. Are you looking to sell your business? Have you been thinking about it? Did you want to go on that vacation, but you're stuck at your business because you got nobody else they can help, right?
Or do you have someone in the company that you want to make
Sell it
them
to.
the new owner? We've done that with managers and family members.
Family members. Selling to family, well, I can't even get it out. Family members.
Talk about managing emotions.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Yeah.
I can imagine what that must
Because,
be like.
The family has certain expectations.
You know what? Most people do.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's what they want, actually. You give them the expectations that you have. You watch, they'll fill it in even more.
Well, we're just the reality check.
I think it's awesome. Let me tell you something, folks. We've talked about this. This is very passionate today about how you feel about what you do.
You dug deep, Carol.
Well, I got it from you. I learned from the best. But honestly, folks, really, it may be you. It may be someone that you know. Write the number down. Maybe you aren't ready, right? That happens sometimes when you were, maybe not now, but you've been thinking about it. Have that conversation with them. Let them help you, because it's not an overnight thing. You're not selling a house. You're selling a business. Their phone number is 602-795-2005. Check them out on their website. It's WCI Broker without the S.com.